Yeah, great Tuesday. Beautiful weather, man. Got a little bit back hot for us today, which is good because it's, sun's going to be out this weekend playing a 2 o'clock game, which we're pumped about. Got a tremendous test this week, man, with Jacksonville. They're 0-3. We're 1-2. We're both very similar in the standpoint that we're probably a lot better football team than what our record shows. We're both hungry for a win. They've lost to Coastal, who's got a good football team. They lost on the road to a team that's been to 5 straight bowl games in Eastern Michigan. They lost in overtime. And they got beat by a great football team in Louisville that played for a conference title last year. So we know we got our work cut out for us, but we're excited about it. We're excited to continue to grow this week and keep getting better, because we want to reach the standard, and all these kids do. And I think we got better today, and looking forward to coaching them again this week. So with that, I'll open it up.
Coach, do better. Thought you guys created some stuff offensively. Thought you were strong on the offensive line against a pretty darn good South Florida defense.
Yeah.
Just some self-inflicted wounds that kind of shot you on the way.
Yeah, we moved the ball better on them than probably anybody has in their last 5 games. I was pleased to see the explosiveness. Really, really pleased with how our passing game's come along. That was a point of emphasis this offseason. We had eight runs of 7 yards or more. We had 12 runs of 2 yards or less. So we're kind of feast or famine right now. We need more dirty runs, more 3 to 6 yard runs. But the big thing was that, just the self-inflicted wounds on the turnovers and in the red zone. That's where the game swung. If we don't fumble on the 3rd drive of the game, we're going to go back up 2 scores. If we score in the red zone, we're either tied or it's a 1-score game at the end. And our deal is we're at the point now with our program where we can play with anybody. We've shown that in our 2 losses. We played 2 good teams, and we can play with them. We've got to quit hurting ourselves, and we've got to fix that, and obviously that's something we're working on.
Can you give any update on Ethan?
No.
You mentioned a little bit about those dirty runs. How important is it for this offense to stay on schedule between that 1st and 2nd down?
Yeah, I guess. But, the big thing for us was just to score in the red zone. It just depends on how the game's going. That was a game where we needed to score, so we were making explosive plays. And if you're making explosive plays, you don't have to get to a lot of 3rd downs. The deal for us was just to execute in the red zone and not fumble this past week. There's some games where we may need to be on schedule, DEMA, and move the ball methodically that way. But we want to be an explosive team. That's kind of what we changed to, and what we want to be. And but we can't shoot ourselves in the foot. Whether that's a missed assignment that causes a negative, whether that's a fumble, which is inexcusable, or whether that's not making it happen in the red zone. Yeah.
How do you go about assessing Stein and maybe Gibbs look good in his 1 kick? How do you go about figuring that out?
Yeah, just compete. Put them in position to compete, which we do every day. You know that. And they did today. We kicked 8 kicks today. 4 of them were live. And then they kick, with Coach Meyer. And so just practice and compete and just keep doing that.
Chance to get any guys back healthy this week?
Maybe
Dennis.
Dennis was out there today. Yep. So that's good. We ain't got many people out. But Dennis was back out there today. I expect he'll play. If it depends on what our substitutions are and all that. Those other guys are playing pretty good too.
Can you talk about just Jacksonville State? And you kind of touched on that they've played a tough schedule, but dual threat quarterback, run defense that has really struggled.
Yeah, quarterback's a good player, Huff. He really makes them go. Coach Rodriguez always has built it on a running quarterback. And they won 9 games last year. They won a bowl game. They beat Louisiana Lafayette in a bowl game. So a proud program with a lot of tradition. And coach that's got a lot of history and tradition. Coach Trickett, their O-line coach. I've known him since I was a little kid. They're a great staff, and they're going to be hungry for a win. So it's going to be a tremendous test for us.
What do you kind of see from just the defensive side of the ball with that?
Yeah, they mix it up over the first 3 games. They've shown a lot of different looks. They're either wanting to show a lot of different looks or they're trying to find themselves. One of the 2. Mostly 3 down front. A lot of different pressure packages. And, they want to make you play left-handed, try to take away what you do best.
I was looking back on your old games against Jacksonville State.
Yeah.
You threw for 4 TDs. Do you remember that game?
Yeah, I think I was National Player of the Week. That got us going. That got us going that year. They ended up winning their FCS conference and going to the playoffs, and we beat them. Of course, went undefeated, and had a great year. So I think that's the last time I've been to that stadium. You know what I mean? That was a fun night, though. That was a fun night. Yeah.
Thanks, Coach.
Yeah.
Kind of what was your take on just the offensive performance? Got off to a fast start. And
Yeah, no, I mean that was huge. Getting off to a fast start, scoring on the first 2 possessions. You know, you got to see the explosiveness that's there. Guys were making plays. It's still just too many miscues in the red zone where, you know, those money downs, we got to score points down there. Can't have turnovers. We got to overcome turnovers. And, you know, when it gets to a shootout, the most mentally tough offense usually has to win. So you got to keep coming back and making plays. And, you know, our guys did that. We had 3 quarterbacks play. I think all 3 of them threw for over 300 yards. I mean, not 300 yards, but 100 yards. So the execution was there at that position. We got to do things up front when we get in that red area so we can run the ball to score down there. We don't have to throw it all the time. So.
Yeah. Feels like the offensive line was having a lot of trouble run blocking in the red zone. What do you attest to that?
Just a couple of miscues here and there, you know, for the few times. You got to anticipate movement, anticipate the defensive front spiking, you know. But overall, I thought they played pretty well. But we got to do more just from the 20 to the 20. We got to finish down there. And in my passes, run the ball down there is how you get to be very efficient in the red zone and score a lot of points.
Talk a little bit about Tate's play when he was healthy and, you know, with his eyes being right.
Yeah, you know, we were really big on all 3 quarterbacks just being a robot with their eyes. Obviously, you don't want to be a robot as a player, but with our eyes, we can. I thought all 3 of them did a nice job. You know, Tate was playing really well and, you know, got a little injured right there and couldn't finish some throws. So we went with Ethan, who came in and did well, and then John came in and did real well. So I was really pleased with where that was. I was really pleased with our offense, just being explosive, guys making plays, seeing our playmakers that I've been counting on the last few weeks finally show up and make things happen. Now we got to put the other piece together and start finishing in the red zone, start finishing drives. And that's a mindset, and you just got to keep building it through practice and being a little bit more detailed and being able to do what your coach will do when you're tired. I think that's just the biggest emphasis that we got to keep improving on.
Talk a little bit about Jacksonville's defense, maybe some more exotics than you've seen.
Yeah, I mean, it's exotic stuff, a little similar to what we saw last week, but, you know, our guys should be able to handle it as long as, you know, our eyes are correct and we're communicating the right way. You know, we're young up front, so there's going to be some good and bad. We just got to, you know, minimize the bad and keep building on the good to great. So I thought our guys practiced pretty well today, so hopefully we can do it again tomorrow.
Seems like Kenyon Clay kind of took some strides this past week.
He's a product just how he works every day. I mean, he brings it every single day. He's the same person every day, which is probably the best compliment a coach can give him, and it's showing up in his product on the field. You know, he's done a great job making guys miss and finishing runs, finishing screens. Very physical kid, and just a delight to be around. I mean, he loves football, loves to work, and he's just done a great job.
The O-line from the previous week to this week or to last week, kind of give your thoughts on that, make progress?
No, I think our whole offense is making progress. It's just we got to put it all together. You know, from the first week to the second week to the third week. You know, I mean, you have over 10 explosives, have 500 yards of offense with 24 points. That's not, I've never really heard of that, and it's not good. We can't have turnovers in the red zone. You got to score touchdowns, and you can't settle for field goals. So, you know, as long as we're explosive, we can keep defense at bay, tackle them, right? We just got to detail some things up in the run game and our communication down there, and we'll be fine. We work it enough, so guys will get more and more comfortable, the new guys out there, and things just happen a little bit quicker down there. We got to understand it, learn from it, and keep moving and getting better and keep stacking success each and every day for us so we can put it all together and be a formidable offense.
I feel like Kyron Heath has been a weapon for y'all out on that tight end position. Can you speak about what he does after the catch? I feel like that's where he's.
Yeah, no, I mean, he's a very talented young man. You know, his biggest thing, he's got to get in better condition so he doesn't get tired so he can break more tackles. But he's a hard kid to tackle. He has great hands, great instincts, plays extremely hard on game day. We just got to get it to translate to practice so he can build, right, his stamina up so he can, you know, prolong a long period of time. But he's a hard kid to tackle. Very confident young man, and he's only going to get better and better.